Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never, ever alone. Here on Invisible Condition, we know that life can be tricky sometimes. It can be tough, it can be hard sometimes, even with those crazy invisible conditions. I was born with one too. 7 brain surgeries in for mine, so I get it. It can be crazy sometimes. The other thing is, there is always hope. So that's where we choose to live around here. We choose to live in hope. If it's been a minute for you, join us. We'd love to have you. I want to talk real quick about one thing, and then I'm going to bring on our guest for today. By the way, actually, two things. Number one, here we go. You ready? Welcome to season 6, everybody. I can't believe we're here. Season 6 is upon us. We have been doing this for 5 seasons already. And so what I want to say to you is thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging with us and being with us during the show for all this time. I feel like we are just getting started, but here we are in season 6. So thank you to all my guests. Thank you to all the people that have been watching, whether you're new or you've been watching since the beginning. I'm so honored that we are here and that you are here and that we're at this point. So thank you. I wanted to make sure I acknowledge that because it is a big deal, man. Season 6 is awesome. And wherever you are watching, thank you for being here. During this episode, during every episode, as you know, Facebook, YouTube, if you want to comment on something, do it. We love that. Comment on it. If you have a question, if our guest today says something, you're like, whoa, hold on. That's not what I heard. That's not what I've always learned, whatever. I know we have some of those topics on sometimes. That's exactly what YouTube and Facebook are for. Comment, ask questions. We're going to have a QR code so that you guys can actually take advantage of some of the stuff that he's going to be talking about today. Use that too. So, all right, that's good. That's good. Now, welcome to season 6. I'm so excited. This is so cool. All right, now we're going to put this back up there. And now our guest. So I have Larry Oberheu is with me today, and he is a health freedom advocate. That's a term, right? Who's heard of that? Anybody heard of a health freedom advocate? He's also the founder of Fresh Mouth, a non-toxic nano-silver-based oral care company. And it's pretty awesome. We've got some stuff here that we're gonna talk about along with our topic today. And he's gonna be here for 2 shows, by the way. It's Tuesday today. We're on every Tuesday and Friday. He's gonna be here all week, Tuesday and Friday. So to be continued at the end here. We're gonna have him for 2 episodes. So get ready. It's gonna be awesome. There's just too much to talk about. Larry is challenging the mainstream narrative on fluoride, oral health, and disease. And so after leading one of the largest healthcare agencies in the US, Larry uncovered the deeper truth. Many chronic illnesses, neurological disorders, and energy imbalances start right here in the mouth. And fluoride is part of the problem. So get ready. It's going to be fun. Larry speaks directly to those who are awake and aware and tired of being tired and tired of being lied to about all this stuff. I mean, there's so much. I feel like a lot of people are waking up nowadays, whether it's medical, dental, mental health. I mean, there's a lot of people that are diving in and getting their education and doing it on their own and not relying on the typical places where people learn. So we're going to unpack how oral health is connected to consciousness, sovereignty, and energetic alignment, and how modern dental care is kind of a quiet war on what really should be happening. So we're gonna dive into that, and hopefully we'll learn something. Everybody will. Me too. So it'll be good. It'll be good. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna bring him on the show, and let's kick this bad boy off. Thank you so much for being here, man. This is gonna be. I'm kind of cautiously optimistic. This is gonna be.
Sure.
It's gonna be awesome.
No,
Thank you, man.
great. No, thanks for having me in, Jeff, and awesome intro. Thank you so much for that. And congratulations on season 6. That's awesome.
Thanks,
and
man.
It's people like you that are kind of leading. We'll call it a revolution, because there really is a revolution going on now, and people like you said, they're waking up, are realizing that all of this stuff was put in place to keep us under control and enslaved, and I mean, we gotta. It's partly our responsibility to break through that, and people like you kind of help that happen. So.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's true. It's the days, I feel like the days of the generation of just lie back and do what everybody, just lay back and do what the doctor says, lay back and do what the dentist says, just take it at their word. Just don't ask questions. That's over. People are asking questions. People are asking questions now. And so are we.
And we should be. I mean,
we should be.
We're grown up in the education system to, shut up, listen, take notes, and, don't challenge the narrative. Don't ask questions.
That's right.
There's a bit of an indoctrination there. And that's really big in the medical and the dental field. And they're not to challenge those issues. And, for the first time in the history of the world that I know of anyway, maybe it happened in the past.
Yeah.
Some people say we repeated the cycle. It's what
we do that sometimes.
Rinse, repeat. But no, I mean, people are starting to question it. People are waking up and saying, "Hey, you know what? Maybe my doctor or dentist doesn't have the best advice out there for me." Because their hands are kind of tied on certain things. They can't.
They really are.
Yeah. Even you talk about the medical field and stuff. I mean, there's certain things they cannot do. Like if they do, they can get in a lot of trouble. Prescribe alternative, natural, holistic things. Stuff like even vitamin C. Doctors got in trouble for prescribing, but not really. You don't need a prescription for it, but vitamin C and stuff like that during COVID. When vitamin C and vitamin D were a very big. Very big in helping get over that and, and preventative and stuff. And, but they're not allowed to do that because part of the system that's,
even my surgery. I mean, I've, like I was mentioning, I've had 7 brain surgeries. I've had 15 surgeries overall, 7 brain surgeries. And believe me, in and out of the hospital that often over the last, several decades. I mean, I have heard, just in the last 10, 12 years, I've had 4 brain surgeries, and every time I did, it had side effects. And those side effects were a total mystery to the doctor and the surgeon, right? Because he's focused, man. Surgery, that's my thing. Anything outside of that, you're on your own. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I would not want a jack of all trades operating on my brain, right? So it's good. At the same time, even when, like my current neurosurgeon, I told him what I did to get rid of the side effects from that brain surgery. And he looked at me and said, "Oh yeah, I could see how that could work." And I said, well, okay, where was that 2 years ago when I was suffering with these side effects? But it's not his fault. He just can't say anything. They can't, because they don't want to get sued and they don't want to get in trouble, with the, malpractice and all that stuff. So I get it. It's just an unfortunate place we're in. That's all. Mm-hmm. It's just terrible. Because I think back in the day, back before the insurance companies and everything took over, and all that stuff, where it is now, I think doctors were able to do that. They had the freedom to
they did, prescribe what they thought was was the right thing to do. But we go back into the the empirical health system, where we use natural products to heal ourselves. Food, we don't even teach that today in the medical field about food. I mean, one thing I was really shocked about is like cancer patients. So like, look at cancer, oncologists and stuff like, obviously treat cancer. So we know for a fact, not a shadow of a doubt out there, that the number one thing that feeds cancer is sugar. Cancer loves sugar. Cancer also, we know cancer hates oxygen. Oxygen will kill cancer. Literally, the definition of cancer is when a normal cell stops uptaking oxygen, it turns cancerous.
Oh, geez.
So cancer, oxygen reverses cancer. So now we know these things, and there's, so somebody's got cancer, and they're in the hospital. What do? We give them Jello, we give them, white bread, we give them, you name it, cereals and stuff. Nothing but sugar, basically sugar on a plate. And say, here, eat a bunch of sugar. Well, that's got to be about the stupidest advice that anybody could ever do. But this is normal, though, and we don't question it. It's kind of like, here I am just eating my Jello or whatever, and it's like, that's just loaded with sugar, and that's what feeds the problem that you're having. So we don't even look at that aspect of it. Nutrition is a huge part of our overall health. Yeah.
It really is. And I know, I think that's my, one of my wife's big missions with her. She's got a business of her own, and it's not necessarily directly related, but one of the things she really would like to see is, number one, the natural world and the medical world coming together more. And number two, the medical world referring people to the natural world more. If they can't help and the natural world can, why are we so afraid to refer to that world? It's because everything's so backwards now. So I think it's a long, raw, hard road, but she's determined. It's because she's seen the benefit that I've seen from it. I mean, 4 brain surgeries in the last 10 years, and natural remedies is what got me back to life, And so I think we're driven, man. It's a thing.
Good, yeah.
So we'll see.
And, I think that for the first time, in my lifetime, I actually see, doctors like actually big doctors that are actually turning their back on the medical field. So we know it's working. This stuff, people are asking questions. People are not taking, just because you got the white coat and the stethoscope around your neck does not mean you're the authoritative on everything on health. As a matter of fact, I mean, doctors as a whole are pretty unhealthy people. I mean, you look at their life expectancies, it's pretty low, actually. They have a lot of stress and everything else that they're dealing with. They could, believe me, take a page out of, detoxifying your body and taking natural and stuff. And here's a fun fact for you, a statistic, 70% of oncologists, cancer doctors, actually opt for alternative treatments other than what they recommend for you. Now that's big. So in other words, you get cancer, you get chemotherapy. That's the right way to go. If I get cancer, that's a hell no, I'm not doing that. So there's a problem with that, So the actual
a little backwards,
experts in the field are actually opting to do other things.
And maybe that'll be a learning opportunity for everybody today. But by the way, 70%, that's not a small number.
It is not.
Maybe take a page from that playbook and pursue those alternatives and until that's how we roll in our house. I've over the last 35 years of knowing my wife, she's like, and she's known my whole history and stuff. She knows, I'm in and out of the hospital sometimes. It's like, let's start with the least possible invasive thing first, and then we slowly go towards the urgent care, or God forbid the ER or the OR, if we have to. So if people would approach it that way, I think we'd have it'd be a lot better all around anyway. But well, I think we've gotten a little bit of your story already, but we got about 3 minutes before we go to a break already. But you largely obviously came from the healthcare world, which is why you're so passionate about it. And then tell us, just if you can encapsulate it in 2 or 3 minutes. What
Sure.
was kind of your disillusionment about it that was like, wait a second, hold on.
Well, I mean, I actually, I mean, I was in healthcare for about 25 years. Actually, still am, to a certain extent. Kind of got a foot in that, I mean, for sure. And it wasn't necessarily anything eye-opening that like made change. It was kind of more of a force. So Obamacare like completely destroyed my age. So I didn't have really too much of a choice. It wasn't like I had an aha moment. I got a better idea here.
Okay.
That would be a little cooler, but that didn't happen. I was actually, the government messed my deal up. That's what it was. So, Obamacare has completely destroyed my agency overnight. I mean, we had about 4,000 agents nationwide. We did about $24 million, in placed health insurance business.
Wow.
We were a major player in the space. It did very well. And I mean, I loved insurance. I loved what I did. We did it very well. We did so much business, we could go to some of the insurance companies and they would design products for us. So we had specialty products. So, and that's actually, we actually, before everything kind of fell out, we did a dental product. So we have our own dental insurance plan, and we still do. Cool. And so that's kind of, it was a little bit of foresight, seeing that, hey, things just might go bad here. So we kind of got involved into that to kind of mitigate, some of the damage if it happened. But to be honest, I really didn't think it would. It did. So completely, it was January 1st, 2011. They completely, threw Obamacare out there in the system. It wiped out a lot of the commissions for insurance agents. A lot of people lost their jobs, especially agencies. The majority of them, probably 80% of them, went out of business. Actually, pretty much overnight. We actually stayed in the game only because we had this dental product, and it was. Let me tell you, those years were tough. I lost about 70% of my income. One of the big things about insurance is it's residualized income. So I didn't necessarily have to work to get money. I had residuals, which was beautiful. It was an amazing thing. And I was very fortunate, very blessed, in that I did very well. But it all ended, literally on January 1st, 2011. And I really didn't think that would go down that way, but that's exactly how it happened. So I struggled immensely during that period for about 4 years, trying to kind of redefine, get dental insurance moving, do some other things. Of course, we got involved in life insurance and stuff like that. Sure. We actually tried to create some new insurance product. We actually had a product that would compete with Obamacare. We brought that out. I got a couple insurance companies to kind of, bend the ear, and they were like very interested in doing something. Well, they quickly put out, I mean, these guys, they weren't stupid about this. They had a really good ground game. They came after us real heavy, and they said, you're absolutely, to pass some legislation, you're not allowed to compete with Obamacare. So that the whole program went down the tubes, which there was a lot of money invested in that too.
Sure.
I will say it wasn't mine. So, but, people did. People put up money and designed products and that thought we're going to really move, and they didn't. So after that happened a couple of times, believe me, everybody was pretty gun shy on trying to compete in that market. Well, but we still did on a low scale. But the dental became the more main focus, so we really hit the dental pretty hard.
We can dive into that in a minute. We'll dive into that in the second segment here, because I'm excited to tell people about kind of what you like. You sent us some stuff, which I'm super excited about, because I wanted to try this stuff out. Like, hey, what's this silver stuff all about? So we're gonna dive into that in the second segment. But I definitely want to. We need to go to a break for just a second. But one thing that I want to do before we go to the break, I kind of want to talk about our newest sponsor, which is just awesome. I don't know. This is probably I don't know if this is good for teeth or not. But I love coffee. I'm a coffee nerd. I don't know about you, but I've been kind of a coffee nerd for years, and I absolutely love great coffee. I'm not a fan of the stuff that's been sitting on the shelf for 10 years and the stuff that's all, it's rancid before you buy it, right? If a bag of coffee doesn't have a roast date on it that's within the last couple of weeks, I don't want to drink it. Wow. That's why I'm so thankful for Mike at roast to order. So that's the QR code. I'm going to have it up here for a minute. So they get it. Okay. At roast to order, they get it. They roast the beans fresh. They ship them to your door, and they're always coming up with new amazing things, flavors, varieties, types of coffee, types of ways of making coffee. If you like your Keurig, your what is it, Nespresso type of capsule type thing, they do that too. So whether you are, a discerning coffee drinker or just kind of breaking into that world, whether you like the Ethiopian light roast, espresso, decaf, flavored coffee, whatever, he's got you covered. Use this QR code to order on this show. This is exclusive to this show. If you use this QR code to order, you'll get 20% off your first order. And they roast it fresh and they ship it to you. What's better than that? So I just wanted to, you got to put something in here, right? So it may as well be good coffee. Life's too short to drink crappy coffee. That's all I'm saying. That's like seriously. So, all right, let's go to a break here, and we'll see you in just a couple minutes, and we'll dive more into this story. Don't go anywhere. You're gonna want to hear the rest of this story, and we got another episode coming up too. So, we're just getting started. Stick around. We'll see you soon.
Hey there. Every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Are you being priced out of healthcare? Tired of the prices skyrocketing and having to go to doctors dictated by a network? We feel your pain and have the solution, a nonprofit approach that is ethical and affordable. Take a moment to learn about a way that works better and feels better than health insurance.
Hi everyone, I'm Andy.
And I'm Minna.
We're the hosts of Chronically Healthy Life.
Join us Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time on Vitality TV to see how we flip the idea of chronic on its head and create chronic health in our bodies, minds, finances, and relationships right here on E360 TV.
All right, welcome back, everybody, and man, thank you for being here today. This is cool. And for those,
by the way, I just ordered some of the coffee, so I'm very intrigued. I'm ordered two to check out. The blueberry looks pretty interesting, so I got that.
Oh man, it's funny when I was talking to Mike over the weekend. He goes, people, I was like the purist, like the coffee purist, I don't do any of that flavored stuff. I don't do anything, but he's like, you know what? There was demand for it. So there's like French vanilla and there's all these different flavors. You can only do the capsules. Like he's rolling with it, man.
Yeah.
And it's
I'm a coffee snob too. So for sure.
So, yeah.
I like good coffee.
Well, yeah, I thank you, Brett. My brother-in-law lives in Portland with my sister and their family, and that's like the coffee mecca, And so he's like the coffee nerd of all coffee nerds. He's the one that kind of got me on that road. And And I'm so thankful because, man, it's life too short for bad coffee. So
that's true. 100% in on that.
Seriously. So everybody, by the way, scan this QR code and go check out this stuff because it is amazing. And it's something we're going to be talking about during the segment here. And it's kind of what has resulted in what you, right, Larry, have kind of gotten sick of from what the mainstream is doing. And so you're like, you know what, we can do it better. We can do it different. We can do it better. Let's let people be healthy again. Right.
Yeah.
So let's, where do we want to continue the story here? Do we want to talk about,
it didn't start out that way, interesting enough, but it did get to there. So,
yeah.
So as we talked about last, the insurance thing kind of went bad. And so we kind of got involved in the dental. And then, over the years, I really, we had some successes and we had a lot of failures, probably had some more failures than we did successes.
Yeah.
And I was really tired of getting my butt kicked by really, it was more political. And I hate to say this, but, insurance became very politicalized.
It did.
And it was really difficult to make money. And so I said, I just got to do something outside of insurance. I have to build something outside of it. I still wanted to keep my foot in it, but I said, maybe there's something I could do to combine this. And that's kind of how it happened. So, I was actually a buddy of mine, we were kind of brainstorming and, thinking about what could we do? And of course, dental was our main focus. So we said, what if we did something around the dental? So believe it or not, this was actually a get rich quick scheme that never really materialized. So
they don't usually, do they? Yeah,
right. But I had the ear of the insurance companies. We did some administrative work for some larger dental insurance companies, including our own. So I thought, if we could go and we could get our product in with some of these big companies, it would be overnight. I mean, you were talking about 2-3 million, clientele customers that they had in the books. And if we could penetrate that, I mean, it would be instantly overnight. And that's really what we did. So actually, I was fortunate that I had these connections. So we did get a sit down with, a couple companies and kind of pitch the idea. Not, and I really didn't have the whole formulation down or anything. I just said, hey, I can do one thing I can do well. We can research and we can dig deep. And what if I found the absolute best combination, best toothpaste on the market, best mouth rinse, best everything, so that it was truly preventative in nature. And I meant that, it's like, and they're like, hey, I said, if I could do that, put something together, would you guys promote that and push it out to all your clientele? They said, absolutely. So we got to work, and actually that was the I guess rabbit hole, if you want to call it. That was the road that kind of led to a lot of things, because originally we looked at fluoride. I mean, I was like, hey, if fluoride that's in our water, it's it's great for us, right? And that was a big awakening because didn't take too long digging deep into that to find out that like there is a whole other side of this. Fluoride is great. No, it is not.
No.
And I was actually pretty shocked. And we did about 3 months of digging into fluoride, and it's a difficult thing to research. Initially, you're going to get nothing but butterflies and rainbows and unicorns. That quickly fades out. But you really kind of get past that stuff, because let's face it, not everything is rainbows and unicorns, right? Actually, most are not.
Well, nothing is always rainbows and unicorns.
Right.
There's always the downside to just about everything.
Exactly. So when I started looking into that really deep, it was really shocking what I found. Like, first off, I mean, there's the fact of what fluoride is. So, I thought it was a mineral, came from the ground, natural, No, it's actually it's a waste byproduct. So it's toxic waste is literally what it is. It's hazardous. The EPA labels fluoride as hazardous waste material. So that's real. So you can go down, and I get in arguments with dentists all the time, and they get super upset with me. I do shows. We do shows all over the country, and I'll get dentists. I just, like 4 weeks ago, I had a woman dentist, and she literally came on hand. She's screaming at the top of her lungs in an aisle where there's like thousands of people around, and her husband's kind of pulling her away, and I'm just like, what? And she's like,
"What is going on?
It's people like you," and I was like, "People like me? Like,
Wait
what
a
does that
second.
mean exactly?"
Yeah.
What people like me? And she's like, "Yeah, you conspiracy theorist guy." Okay.
Well,
I was like,
first of all, just because it's a conspiracy doesn't mean it's a theory. Okay.
Well, yeah.
Let me just say that out loud.
Yeah, right. I had to go get new conspiracy theories because all the ones that I had came true. So yeah. So but I almost wear that as a badge of honor now. So when she called me, I was like, yeah. But I was like, wow. And then I kind of yelled at her as she was being pulled away by her husband. I'm like, do you think I'm the only one in the world making non-fluoride toothpaste or something? Like she thought, like if she killed me, the whole movement would end. It's like, wow, okay, take me out, and then all right. But yeah. So I mean, they get really upset about this stuff. And
what's wrong with fluoride? Like, what's the matter with it? I mean, you said it's literally listed on like where could people go check? Like if they're like, oh, he's full of crap.
So it's everything is they make it so difficult. Even the CDC. So if you go on the CDC website, again, you're going to get some stuff that's all fluff and rainbows and unicorns and stuff.
Sure.
But you dig deep on the CDC, and they actually have the actual reports, and it is not good. It is not good at all. So you can dive deep into it. There's actually, if you want to learn more about it, there's fluoridealert.org. And they this is a kind of an association that's been around for almost 30 years. And they've been looking into fluoride since, almost like when they started putting it in about 10 years after. So, and they've been against it and they have amassed a pretty big movement and a lot of data on what this is exactly. So we'll back up. Okay. So fluoride was basically introduced into our water and everything like that back in 1940. So in 1940 is when we started fluoridating. So, a lot of people theorize where it came from, how it did it, but all my research leads to one area. So it's a military industrial complex product. So fluoride, the military wants fluoride. So fluoride enriches uranium and it makes bombs blow up. So without fluoride, we don't have bombs. So that's actually a really big deal to the military. Obviously, we want bombs. So during the missile crisis and everything, we had the arms race. Everybody was kind of racing to make bigger and better bombs. But everybody around the world had the same problem everybody else did. Well, the people that were making this stuff were dying. They were literally getting cancer and all kinds of stuff because fluoride's toxic. It's poison and it will kill you. Less than a gram will kill a full-size human being. That was one thing that really woke me up. I said, wait, less than a gram is not a lot. So if that will kill you,
when I'm measuring out my coffee as the coffee nerd in the morning, measuring my water and measuring my with my scale, I'm a full-on nerd.
You really go out,
I do it by the gram. Hey, once you get it down, it doesn't take long. But I do about a 15-to-1 ratio. So I'm measuring the water, measuring that, and it's by grams. And so I know what 1 gram looks like. A coffee bean weighs more than a gram. So if it's less than a gram that could end your life, it doesn't take much.
No,
that's crazy.
No, and it's a lot less than that for a child. So think about that for a second. So maybe half a coffee bean or whatever it may be will kill a kid. So that's and actually children have actually died from fluoride. That's real. From toothpaste. I'm sorry, let me back up. From toothpaste. Literally brushing and swallowing the toothpaste, they have died. There's a lot of kids that have gotten sick from it. There's a lot of them that have been rushed to the hospital, had stomach pumps and all kinds of stuff. But that has actually happened. So this is real. And this is a concern. I mean, this should concern everybody. It's like, okay, so this will kill you, but we're brushing our teeth with it and putting it in our water. It's like, wow, okay. So And it's fluoride is kind of a weird substance. First of all, you call it by its real name. What it is hydrofluoric acid.
Okay.
That doesn't sound quite as nice as fluoride does.
No, that sounds a lot meaner.
That sounds a lot more like, wow, that's like not good.
Yikes.
So yeah, that's what it is. Hydrofluoric acid. It is super corrosive, by the way. It'll eat through cement. It'll eat through steel. It is very hard to contain. Less than.
And we're putting it on our teeth.
Yeah, in our water. Yep, in our body. If you take a cupful and pour it on a cement, it'll eat right through the cement. And the fumes will kill you. So and this has actually happened. So they actually got some news footage. I got a couple videos, in my collection somewhere where they got to call in a hazmat team. Hazmat, full suits, man. We're talking hazmat gloves, the whole shot to clean a spill up. Now it's kind of, and they've showed this on TV and they got the whole thing roped off with police and everything else. And, it's like, okay, these guys are running around in hazmat suits to clean up something that they're putting in our water. It's like, wow.
What in the world?
They spilled this when they're putting it in our water, and they had to call in a hazmat team to clean it up because it would kill people. So that's how toxic this substance is, and we're putting it in our water and in our toothpaste. Told us it's good for us. So, but again, like we talked about earlier, not everything anybody says. We got to start thinking for ourselves a little bit. Say it's good for us. Well, who is exactly they, by the way? Because I'd like to know who they are. And because there's one study done in 1940 by Dr. Hodges that actually says how great fluoride is.
Yeah,
how beneficial it is for us and everything else. That study has been debunked about 50 to 60 times throughout the years. But nobody wants to listen. It's like, it's not true. It's false information. And we keep running with it.
The retraction of the story is rarely as big of a story as the sensational story in the first place. So,
I'll even say here, if you don't want to be the conspiracy theorist and stuff, and don't want to go down those rabbit holes and get into the weeds and stuff about it. Let's just say it was a mistake. History is riddled with mistakes. We have lead paint, and asbestos. That was a big one too. These are all safe. Don't worry about it. They're safe for us. Not so much. They cause cancer, lung cancer, melanoma or whatever. But so here, that was just something that, hey, we thought it was good. It wasn't. Fluoride should be one of those. And we now have this information, and it's been out there. So it's not new either. They've debunked this stuff back in the 50s and 60s, and they still continue to put it, because like you said, I guess it's, it's a little more difficult to retract it. But as much research as I've done on it, it almost seems intentional to me. You'd be hard pressed to convince me otherwise, but it is a neurotoxin. It does affect your brain. It makes you docile. It makes you more open to suggestion as well. So Adolf Hitler, we all know who he is. He fluorinated the water in the concentration camps to dumb down the prisoners, them less likely to escape, more open to suggestion, and blah, blah, blah. So we also fluorinate our water, by the way. And, here's an interesting stat, like China, everybody gives China a bad rap, so the Chinese fluorinated the water in the 70s. So in the 70s, they started fluorination. Actually, because of us, by the way, we are the main pushers of fluoride for the entire world. We want everybody to fluorinate. So China said, let's do it. So in 1970, they did it. By the 80s, they had to stop doing it because their population's teeth were falling apart. But us, we got this. Don't worry. We doubled down. We're not.
Well, I'll tell you what. We could keep going on this for another hour, but we got to go to one more break, and then I want to kind of wrap up this episode, because we'll have about 10 minutes left when we come back. I want to wrap this up by showing people what the right thing to do is. We're gonna talk about what's on the other end of that QR code, and we can show them some of this stuff and show them what they should be using. And then next episode, we'll figure out what we'll tell them what the next episode is going to be, because it's going to be good too. So we got two parts. See, I knew we weren't going to cover everything in one, which is why we did this. So everybody, don't worry. There's plenty more where this comes from. for today, we're going to go to one more break, and then we're going to finish up the show. And then, so we'll see you in just a couple minutes. Stick around.
Are you being priced out of healthcare? Tired of the prices skyrocketing and having to go to doctors dictated by a network? We feel your pain and have the solution, a nonprofit approach that is ethical and affordable. Take a moment to learn about a way that works better and feels better than health insurance.
The Club eFit Home Portable Gym System is a groundbreaking new system that can help everyone at any fitness level. You can be the happy, fit person you always wanted to be, and Club eFit can make that happen by helping you get the body you deserve in the time you can spare. With workouts ranging from cardio, core, to total body toning, it's easy to get started. Start taking care of you today. To make the change, go to clubefit.com now.
Hey everybody, Craig Tomanini here, founder and CEO of Ask Craig T, and I wanted to do a quick reminder about our podcast every Friday, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You can find us on YouTube and on all of our social media platforms, so be sure you tune in. Don't miss all the valuable information we're going to give you about how to scale your business using technology.
Hey there. You know, every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Hey everyone, Coach Greg here from Living Empowered TV, where we help women live empowered lives through amazing guests, life hacks, mental, physical, and emotional health. See us on the Achieve Network, 12 o'clock Wednesdays Pacific time on E360 TV. Don't miss out.
All right, welcome back, everybody. I'm telling you, this is the shortest hour of the day. I swear, we're like, I feel like we blinked and we're already at the last segment. So, good thing we got another episode coming up. Right. That episode is actually going to be so we're here today, right? So today's September 30th. Oh, by the way, I don't know why I didn't think of this. Good Lord, September 30th. Hey, Elizabeth, happy birthday. It's your my oldest daughter turns 22 today. Can't believe I didn't say that at the beginning of the show. Good Lord, forgive me, sweetheart.
Tell her happy birthday, Elizabeth.
So today's September 30th. So our next episode with you is going to be October 3rd. So if you love what we're talking about, or if you're like ready to debate, which might be likely too, come to the next show. Watch our next show because we're going to dive into some more. So it's going to be good. But so how do we want to, I think we wanted to talk about some of the stuff that you've got at that link to do it better. Like, okay, we talked about the dangers, we talked about the stuff. So what are you doing that's better?
So the fluoride bad, obviously, a poison, not good for us. We'll talk, fluoride, what their main thing on fluoride is that it kills the bacteria that causes tooth decay, gingivitis, and things like that. It also hardens our enamel, which are two things that basically that's what they hang their hat on. They really get behind that. And actually both of those seem really positive on the surface.
It seems like a good idea.
Yeah, seems like a great idea. Yeah. Well, the problem is that, yes, it does kill the bacteria, but it also will kill you too. It kills everything. So that's not a good thing, but it does do it. So it does do it. And the other thing about hardening the enamel, it does do that. But that's a symptom. That's a side effect, I should say, a side effect of a more serious condition, which is called fluorosis. The number one cause of tooth decay in America is fluorosis. That's indisputable. That's literally caused by fluoride. So that's the hardening of the enamel. The next stage is your teeth decay. It falls apart. So it's not positive. It's not a good thing. It seems like it, but it's not. So, but let's go back to the bacteria part. Now, that's actually very important. Now, we do have bad bacteria in our mouths, and that is the number one cause of tooth decay and cavities and things like that. So we do need to purge that from our mouth. Fluoride is not the answer, but the problem is that the all natural stuff, which a lot of people, about 45% of people are trying to move away from fluoride today, actually end up having to move back. 45% of people that move away have to go back. Why? Because statistically, you get more cavities with an all natural toothpaste, and they have oral problems. And their dentist will tell them, "Hey, see, I told you." You need to go back on fluoride because fluoride's so much better. That is not true. But there is a very valid point that the natural stuff does not purge our mouth of the bacteria. So that is not positive for us either. So that was kind of down our journey when we were kind of putting this program together. We knew we needed to purge that, but we also needed to know that we can't hurt ourselves in the process of it. Poison's not the answer. So we turned to silver. So silver happens to be one of the strongest killers of bacteria known to man. It obliterates all bacteria, germs, viruses, and fungus on contact. All of which live in our mouth, by the way. So all of that is in there. We need to purge it, and silver happens to do all of that. Silver's super unique in a lot of different ways. It kills all the bad bacteria, germs, viruses, and fungus, but it doesn't kill the good stuff. No, that's super unique, and I really do not know of another product on the market that does it. There might be. I have no idea what that is, though. So it destroys the bad, not the good. It promotes a very healthy mouth biome that's really second to nothing out there. And you really get a fresh, clean feel using the toothpaste, especially the first time. You'll notice that. I was going to ask you. But yeah, that's usually the big thing. It's like, wow, that's really like, you really feel fresh. And actually that real fresh feeling is actually the silver doing its job, destroying all the bad and not the good. Our mouth doesn't experience that very often. So it's like, wow, your mouth's like, hey, we're happy. This is cool. So you get that real fresh feel. That actually lasts very long throughout the day, by the way, about 6 to 8 hours that it lasts. Even if you go to bed at night, brush your teeth before you go to bed, generally speaking, you don't really wake up with bad breath. It's still pretty fresh. So you get to wake up and kiss your spouse in the morning. So that's a good thing.
Right.
I was at a show once, and I said that to a lady, and she's like, "Oh, that's a hell no." I was like, "Oh, that's
not a selling point, man."
That's a whole different problem. But yeah.
Nice.
So you can't, it actually still pretty fresh. But silver does so much more. I mean, silver heals, it regenerates, it. We use silver in hospital settings, in wound care, because nothing heals as fast as silver. So if you cut your arm open or something, you put silver on it, it heals almost overnight. I mean, it's really, really fast stuff. On burn victims, we use silver nitrate, which is silver, and it regrows the skin tissue on burn victims. So the regenerative features, healing features, which are amazing. And some of those properties actually transfer over into our mouth as well. So nano-silver is what we use specifically. Nano-silver is clinically proven to heal enamel. Now, we don't really know anything else that does that, but we have people heal cavities within about 4 to 6 weeks, and gum tissue regeneration in about 6 to 8 months. Two things that your dentist will say that's not even possible. But these are independent studies. They're not even ours. We were just one of the first to actually put it in a toothpaste. Had phenomenal results with it, including myself. I mean, so I had receding gums. I had sensitive teeth, very sensitive teeth, because the receding gums in the back, especially, the roots were exposed, and when I brushed, it hurt. It was not a positive experience for me whatsoever. And so I did not like brushing my teeth, but I did, twice a day. That's what you're supposed to do. So, but it did hurt. And when we were testing the formulation of the product, I didn't even realize it, but right around 3 to 4 weeks or whatever, I didn't have any sensitivity anymore. And I really legitimately didn't even realize it, but it didn't hurt anymore, which was positive. And then probably 8-9 months later or something like that, I ended up going to the dentist, and I actually had a cavity. That was my first cavity ever. I've never had a cavity. So,
Wow.
But my tooth hurt, and I was like, wow, that's like, I don't know. So went and got my teeth cleaned, and, he checked, and he's like, yep, you got a small start of a cavity there. And I was like, wow, I've never even had one, So he's like, not a big deal. I can, we could fix it right up. And, it was like $300. And I was like,
Yeah.
And I at the time, I traveled to the Philippines a lot. So I had business out there. So I go back and forth a lot. So about 5 to 6 times a year. So I always had my dental work done in the Philippines, because it's like, you can have your teeth cleaned out there for like $10. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh,
And
totally.
even for a cavity. So I, that was my plan. I could fly out there because, cavity's like $20. So it was like $20, $300. Yeah, I can wait, But what happened was, this was right in 2019. COVID happened.
Yep.
So I didn't go to the Philippines. Then 2020, that was like one of those years that didn't happen.
Nobody went anywhere.
Nobody did nothing. So during 2020, of course, we're all in the house and, watching TV and going down conspiracy rabbit holes and stuff. That's what everybody did, right? I didn't realize it, but again, the sensitivity of the cavity, I didn't have the pain anymore. Didn't realize it. So I go back to the dentist, and another teeth cleaning, and he's like, wow. He's like, so what'd you do about the cavity?
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't do anything. And he goes, but it's not there. And I was like, I don't know. And he's like, and I was like, what? And he's really like got this really weird look. He's like, I don't understand. He's like, so you did nothing? And I said, I did nothing. And he goes, well, and also they check your gum recession, the pockets every time you go. And mine were like level 5s, not good. And then he's like, so he goes, your recessions are 3s.
Nice.
And he's was like this really horrified look on his face. And I'm like, and that's bad? And he goes, no, actually it's really good, but I don't know how you did that, because that's not even possible. He's like, so right now, he says your cavity's gone and your receding gums are reversing. He goes, I don't know what the heck you're doing. He goes, but you better keep doing it. So that was it. And I walk out. I get in the car and I'm driving back, and I'm like, what the heck am I doing that he thinks, make sure you just keep on doing it. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I supposed to do? And then it kind of hit me. I didn't even think about it. Honest to God, I never made a correlation between toothpaste and all this other stuff. So I was like, is it the toothpaste? And I was like, when I got home, we really started digging in and doing a lot of research. And sure enough, found all this stuff out that, hey, nano-silver does repair cavities.
And we will, and we're going to cover most of that in the next episode because we're out of time. So unfortunately, we literally have about 60 seconds left. So I'm going to go. We got to go. But this was good, right, everybody? Come on. This was good. Admit it. This was good. This was stuff you never hear from anybody, right? So we definitely want to dive into more of this. And if you enjoyed today, just wait till next time. It's going to be awesome. So we are going to be back same time, same channel on October 3rd. So join us on October 3rd for another for the to be continued second episode of this topic, because it's important. This is important stuff. This is stuff you don't hear every day. So thank you so much for being here. And it's been awesome. It's been eye-opening. I can't wait to learn more. And by the way, that's okay. We'll catch that next time. So, all right, everybody, have an amazing day, and we'll see you on the next episode.
That's good, Jeff. Thanks.